What's up YouTube? Shamu Aquatics here, bringing you guys another video, and today is another update on my 240 gallon planted community shark tank. And as you can see, there has been a bit of a remodel, so I'm going to be transparent with you guys. I am stoned right now, so I'm going to probably lose my train of thought a lot. Maybe repeat myself more than I normally do. Like, I'm gonna be extra ADHD tonight, probably. I don't know. We'll see if my memory works. But yeah, tank's been through a bit of a remodel. I brought this piece of wood from outside in finally. This piece of wood, along with that one, had been floating in my backyard bin since November of last year. That one, I just put a rock on top of it. The one on the far right, that was added first out of all the ones that were floating in my bin since November. That one was added the same day, but I had to put a rock on it. I finally took the rock off when I added that one. Hold on, that glare is annoying. So anyway, back to what I was saying is, yeah, got that extra piece of wood in here. I also spread out a lot of my anubias. I also brought some forward so they're out more, and so they stand taller as well. There's like a bunch of like little sticks and all that holding down the weight of these anubias. Like some of it is on like some very old brittle pieces of wood. That's what's keeping it from floating away. And yeah, some large anubias ended up splitting into their own like plants. There's this huge one. When I went to move this big piece of wood, it let go of the anubias because this anubias, the roots ended up reaching down and they are very firmly rooted into the gravel, which is fine. The roots can be submerged under the gravel, under the substrate, but it's the rhizomes that you don't want under the substrate. And also, I don't know what else to do with that right side of the tank. I did add another Siriu stone, but I think I want to swap out the Siriu stone, or however you pronounce it, with something else. I'm thinking of something of a similar color, but something that won't like make my water hardness go up or my pH go up, because I have very hard water. So like all I really did with this part was I just built a little cave or tunnel out of rocks or whatever. And also one of the manzanita pieces that was similar to this one, I did take it out because I want to open up the upper swimming space. But I think I might add some fake tall green plants because apparently rainbow fish like to chew on frickin' jungle val. So I might have to go with tall fake plants because I don't know what other type of tall plant to get. So I might just settle for fake ones. Because of these freaking jungle val chewing bastards, I swear to God. Also, I did add some new fish. I added 2 more bala sharks, and I am having a hard time telling which ones are the new ones because other than the one bigger one, they all look the same. So still waiting for them to start their growth spurts. It took this guy like a few months to start his. He is now probably pushing 6 inches now. So he's going to start growing really rapidly. He's already started just recently. So now I have a healthy school of 6 bala sharks. This is my first time keeping them in a proper school. I've always either kept them alone or in pairs or in trios. I've mostly only kept 1. I've had 2 a few times, and then I've had 3 once. But now that I have this 8-foot tank, I'm giving this species another chance, and I'm giving them a proper school. So now I have 6, which is how it's supposed to be done. I will honestly say, bala sharks need an 8-foot tank, not a 6-foot tank. 8 feet might be the minimum, but we'll see. When these guys get bigger, if they start freaking out a lot, like, it's like, then that proves that maybe an 8-foot tank isn't much of an improvement for them. They might need something bigger than an 8-foot tank. We're going to find out when they get bigger. But these guys are actually relatively non-skittish. They're not as skittish like the 3 10-inchers that I had in my old 135. Yet. They might become that. They usually become that way when they get to like that 7-8 inch mark. Sorry, I got distracted because also another thing, I know as a lot of you guys might know, last year I was up to 25 roseline sharks, aka Denison barbs at one point, because I had a lot given to me, or I basically bought a bunch of full-grown adults soon after I got this tank because a lot of people were looking to rehome theirs. A couple people reached out to me and asked me if I wanted theirs, and I said, yeah, sure. And they were already adult size, but they were cheap anyway. And I'm starting to really suspect that these roselines were not, like these adult roselines that I bought already as adults, especially this giant one. I think the previous owners were lying about their age, honestly, because they said, oh yeah, they're a year old. And I'm like seeing how big they are, and I'm like, are you sure about that? Only a year old? Were you power feeding them and raising them in 85-degree water or something? Either that or these fish are not a year old. But yeah, flash forward to today. So I got these adult roselines in like fucking March or whatever of last year. It is now September of 2025. I have 18 left. Other than losing 2 of the genetic disasters known as golden Denison barbs or roseline sharks, several of those roselines that I bought already as adults over the last couple of years have died. So yeah. Which I guess, whatever, because I thought, like, when I had 25, I was like, oh, that's too many. I have 18, and I still think I have too many of them. I think I want... Like, I think for the future, after these guys, like, fully age out, I'm going to keep my schools at around, like, 12 or whatever. Probably 12. But I definitely need more rainbow fish, but I'm having a very hard time finding ones that are around the size of these guys. These guys are about 4 inches long, believe it or not. They look really small in here. But I'm having trouble finding any that are anywhere near the size of the boesemanis I already have in here. I don't want them to be too much smaller. I want them to be at least like 3 inches, no smaller than that. These guys are like probably pushing 4. Some of them are probably pushing 4.5. Where's my largest? I know there's one that's significantly bigger somewhere in here. But it's hard to tell when they're all moving around so much. I think it might be like this one. He's probably like 4.5 inches. It's hard to tell when half an inch size difference is hard to see, but yeah, like they're pushing 4.5 inches already, and I don't want to buy ones that are anything less than 3 inches because these guys can be feisty towards each other. So I would be more comfortable keeping rainbow fish together when like they're all similar size. So yeah, I definitely need more boesemani rainbows. I'm just having trouble finding ones that are closer to these guys' size. But we'll see. I did actually stop at a fish store recently where I did see boesemani rainbows that were as big as mine. Some were even bigger, and they had mycobacterium. So I didn't buy them. I ran out of that fish store. Okay, but now we're gonna get to the reason why I decided to do a remodel on my tank. And this side's not finished, by the way. I just still need to figure out what to do with this side. But I'm trying to build like more like tunnel systems, passageways, breaking lines of sight. Because as you guys know, I have an adult red-tailed shark in here. He's not alone anymore. Baby shark. No, stop it. That's enough of that shit. If I ever hear that song again, I'm gonna crash out. Heard it today at work already, and ugh. But yep, there's another red-tailed shark in here. This was a stupid, stoned impulse purchase because while the tail color is not the best, these are like, I stopped at a new fish store that I'd never seen before, and all the reviews were amazing. All the fish were really healthy and all that. It was old, like the place was dirty, but the health of the fish, awesome. Like, these fish were like top quality, and these were like some of the fattest, healthiest little red-tailed sharks I'd ever seen in just a local fish store, like any pet store for that matter. Like, these guys are bigger. Like, usually when I see red-tailed sharks and rainbow sharks in local fish stores, they're always really small and skinny, and I would have to take them home and fatten them up myself. But yeah, that was a dumb impulse purchase. Like, when I was all stoned and like, but I have an 8-foot tank. Let's see if this works. And especially if I add more caves and passageways. I added the little shark before I did the remodel of the tank. So yeah, I was like, okay, well, there's a lot of space in here for that little shark to get away from that big red tail. Like, there's actually a lot of like long periods of time where they go without even seeing each other. And I purposely dumped that red tail shark in this side of the tank because the big one spends most of his time, well, pretty much 90% of my fish in general spend most of their time on this half of the tank. Like, that over there is that big red tail shark's favorite spot. He does travel around, but I just fed them. Like, I lost track of time. I'm stoned. But yeah, he's going around, but still, there's a bunch of little passageways in here. And when that red-tailed shark does see the little one, oh yeah, he chases the shit out of that little red-tailed shark. But guess what? It only lasts for like a few seconds because that red-tailed shark has he has an easy time losing that big one because he could just go just dart into any little passageway. And like, he could actually get like to the other side of the tank pretty quickly if he has to. And also, like, when that big red-tailed shark is chasing him through, he'll bump into stuff. Like, it's kind of funny. It's almost cartoonish. I probably won't get it on camera because it's actually happening less and less and less often. Like, this is like literally the most oblivious red-tailed shark I've ever had. But like, he would be chasing that little shark through the tunnel system and all that shit, and then like little red-tailed shark would get through a passageway while that fucking big one just boom, smack into the plant. But yeah, I think this might work out, but I just wonder what's gonna happen when that little red-tailed shark starts growing and he freaking can't like get through the like passageways as easily anymore. But we'll see. So far it got better. Like, the first 2 days were like, oh my god, but I was like, hopefully it works out in the long run. We'll see. If it ends up not working again or if things start to get bad, I'm going to have to try to catch that little red-tailed shark, which is probably going to be very, very difficult. Or I'm probably going to have to go out and get like 5 more, which I would probably if I end up deciding to just say screw it and start up a shark community again to disperse that aggression, I'll go out and get like fucking 5 rainbow sharks or something to disperse that aggression. I've done it before. It's just that I really don't want to have that many. Like, but unfortunately, the general rule is to have either 1 or a group of 5 or more. But we'll see. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and I actually have had several people tell me that they've managed to keep 2 together in like 125 gallon, like 6-foot to 8-foot tanks. So we'll see. This red-tailed shark's personality isn't even that bad to begin with anyway, but he was a terror in his previous owner's tank, but that was a smaller tank. He mellowed out after being put in here. But anyway, enough of the red-tailed shark crap. I'll keep you guys updated on this. I really hope, like, if it doesn't work out, hopefully I will be able to catch them. If things did start to go south, I would actually have no problem catching this red-tailed shark, this big one. Because you see how he begs at the glass near the surface when I walk near the tank? I could easily swipe his ass with a net. But he's not going anywhere. I value this big red tail over that little one, honestly. I've already seen signs of aggression from that little one, actually. I actually saw him like headbutting the cories, like on his second day in here, but nothing too serious. But hopefully he doesn't become a dick. This one is mostly peaceful as it is, but we never know with this little one. Obviously, this one will dominate the little one, but still, like, the little one could still potentially end up being a problem towards my other fish, so we'll see. But anyway, that's enough of the red tail shark bullshit. I did add another Ceria stone. I think I mentioned earlier that I am not really feeling it anymore. I might try something similar, but like something that won't make my water harder or raise my pH like Ceria stone does. Yeah, this piece of wood's been in here for a while. I did move some pieces of driftwood around. The one that was originally going across here is now on top of that. And I moved this one from like the back corner over there. I think I do need to get more Anubias. I just don't know where I would put it. It'd probably end up looking weird on this plant because I don't want to put Anubias too high up. The problem is I have that and I have that. If I put these Anubias too high up, the leaves will like start getting blown or bent by the current. So I don't want that. But I do need to figure out the jungle val issue. I do still have jungle val, but the boesemani rainbows chew on it. But anyway, that's all for today. Let's see. Big red tails back there. Little red tails has no problem hiding from the big guy thanks to my remodel. Come here. Hopefully that tail starts to glow up. I don't know how well the video or the camera shows it, but he has an orange tail. It's like a faded orange. But I'm gonna give it a chance. It's young. They typically look like this when they're like 2.5 inches long. But we'll see. All right, that's all for today's update. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.